Okay, whenever you're ready, you can start.
Charlton, you said something and then you went out.
I said whenever you're ready to start recording, then ready to start the episode, then you can go ahead.
Oh, it's gonna be record. It's recording now. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just play music. Welcome to Escape from Quarantine. I'm Kamiko Greenwood.
And I'm Janae Serrano.
And today we'll be talking about how the dating game has changed through social media.
So sit back, relax, and get ready for an earful.
So, Johnny, how has social media changed the dating game?
I remember getting people's numbers when you want to talk to someone. Now it's what's your Insta or your Snap.
Yes, it's hard to navigate in the world now without social media. I mean, for me personally, I did not have any social media, maybe a Facebook for a school project that people literally call a non-existent profile because it's just basically my name. When I entered college, I was required to make a LinkedIn profile as well as Discord just to be connected with like clubs and information about what's going on with school. So for me, I still ask people for the number. I prefer talking to someone on the phone rather than just messaging them. For me, it's like more personal. Even when you meet people now in general, they ask, what's your Instagram? People are more hesitant to give out their phone number than their social media page.
Yeah, everything is social media based on most people meet online now. It is not often you meet someone while you're out. It does happen, but not like online. You could just slide into someone's DM and it's less impersonal and it gives people more courage to reach out to you because they're not to your face. I guess it makes rejection easier for people too. Personally, for me, I didn't get a social media till my senior year of high school, and definitely goes down in the DMs.
So what I'm getting from you is that do you prefer someone to speak to you in person or would you rather them DM you?
I think in person now is considered bold, and I prefer when someone's being bold to talk to me and is coming out of their comfort zone to talk to me, just as I would if I wanted to talk to someone else. So I think I prefer if someone came to my face and asked me or talked to me that way.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I prefer like contact, trying to fill out a person than just like on someone's profile. Um, so
I feel like we're definitely more exposed online. You have unwanted people in your business. Um, you could get a friend request from someone maybe you didn't want to talk to, but now like if you don't accept their friend request, it's like kind of like throwing shade at that person. So you kind of feel obligated to, okay, well, they know me, and if I don't answer. So I feel like you're way more exposed online than in person because you could choose what information you're giving that person based on online. You might not approve of a certain picture or something looks out of place and people like stalking happens.
I think that can translate into person too, because what about people that you meet that necessarily um, might not talk to you that much, but then they find you on Instagram? I know for some people, they feel like it could be stalking, or is it just them being bold, as you said?
I think that's a double-edged sword because it depends. Do you want to talk to this person? Like, does this person, you have people who like are straight up like don't like you in person but will friend you on Instagram just to see what you're doing.
So haters.
Or fans, as I call them.
Call them fans. Yeah. Some people call them fans, some people call them haters. But just on a like a dating situation, if someone wanted to date you and then they saw you maybe passing by or saw you and then they, found you on Instagram, would you go on that date?
Well, that's the norm now. People meet people online and go on dates. I'm a little bit more reserved. I actually have to like get to know you because people can tell you anything online. That's where catfishing comes in, and filters and makeup and all types of things that make them look like a whole totally different person than what they actually are. And people act totally different over the phone than they might in person.
That's true. In person, I think it's harder to catfish someone. They're right there and present. But to be honest with you, I'm called a catfish because of my absence on social media. So people call me a catfish because I don't have social media. I'm like, how am I a catfish? I'm not deceiving anyone. I just don't have profiles. I mean, I have profiles now, obviously, but you know, just in general, that was a big thing. Like, oh my gosh, you don't have social media. What do you think about that? Are you skeptical about people not having social media?
I think it's your choice. I believe in choice. And if you choose not to be on social media because you like your life a little bit more private than others, I think that should be fine. It shouldn't be considered taboo.
But we are living in a world where it's revolving around social media. Even you know, jobs are looking at your social media page, looking at what you're doing. Even people like, am I even interested in this guy? Let me look at his social media and see. So it seems like everything's really dependent on your social media page.
So you're saying this is the era of nosiness. Everyone's in everybody's business.
Yes. So you're telling me that you, like, when you got a DM or something, you didn't look at their page, like, who is this person?
Of
Who is
course, that's the natural reaction. You want to know who this is. Like a random person's text me, okay, now I gotta go check their profile to see who this. Do I know this person? Because you get friend requests from random people, then you get people who know you that you may not remember. Oh, we met this one time at a party and I found you on social media, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't remember you necessarily. So I think what it comes down to is what you're willing to share and what you want people to know about you. Like social media has become such a big thing that you can even get fired from jobs for something you posted on social media, and I don't think that's fair.
I am in total agreement with that. I don't think that what you do on your off time, depending on what you do, because there's some things that I can see where the job's coming from. But like for instance, this teacher, she was out on vacation and she was twerking, and her job deemed it as like inappropriate. On her off time, on her vacation with her friends, she's not able to have fun. Twerking is deemed inappropriate. I mean, I can see if she was doing it on the job, but she was off duty, nowhere near her job.
That is just crazy to me. What you do on your free time shouldn't affect your professional lifestyle or anything you do off the clock. Um, Social media just has become an easier way to find and figure out what people are doing before they even tell you.
So I have a question for you. Have you ever met a catfish?
Oh my, that's a good question. Um, Definitely, I've had people who are maybe a little bit nicer over the phone, and they're not in person. They're complete jerks. I think everyone has those. Um, And then there's people that like may post pictures of themselves from like 6 years ago. They might not necessarily look like that now. So I don't know. That's technically catfishing because they're deceiving someone.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, is it a catfish? Or, you know, that can be like one of those lines. What are you talking about? I mean, the picture is of me, just superficial. You know, you liked me 10 years ago. What's wrong with me now?
I totally agree with you. Not to be superficial, but I feel like you should be open and honest about who you are because that's attractive to, like um to tell the truth. So I think it's just personal preference.
So you're saying that people on their social media should have a disclaimer on their photos that is saying, this picture was taken 10 years ago.
Yep, I totally should.
I totally agree. That would be definitely be a gauge, but I'm Jenny, I want to know, do you think it's cheating if someone in your relationship is just talking to people online? You know, maybe just a little flirting or whatnot? Charlton, we're having internet problems. So, Jenny, have you ever been catfished?
I feel like everyone with a social media probably has. People can definitely put on a facade um, when they're first meeting you, and then when you meet them in person and get to know them a little more, you know they're not maybe as nice as they have portrayed out to be, or as kind. So definitely.
I think people that think of a catfish is just image. But to me, it's both personality and image. If you're saying they're, you know, saying you're a nice guy or you're so nice, and then when you meet them, they're total, you know, not the nicest person, then to me, that's definitely a catfish.
I have to agree with you. It isn't all about looks and the superficial.
Okay, so since you're talking about pictures, what about the pictures of people that maybe, well, it is them. They are who they are, but it was from, say, 10 years ago. Do you think that's a catfish?
Portraying as if it's a recent picture. Did you ask the question? I feel like all pictures should have a disclaimer on what date they were taken, but that's just me.
I think people would agree with that. But at the same time, someone could say, well, that picture was of me 10 years ago. It's still me. So you're being superficial. And technically, they did not say that that picture was recent. They just said, those are my pictures.
Well, I think that's all about personal preference and what you choose to accept and not to accept. So
I totally agree. It definitely is on the person. Not only that, but um, when you're on social media, ask the questions, you know, to see if they're lying about like just a picture and other things like of that nature. What could they possibly be lying about as well? That's what comes to my mind.
I feel like when you catch someone in one lie, it's hard to trust them again. Um, because now you're always questioning whether they're telling you the truth or not. Especially with social media, it's easy to deceive someone through a screen.
I definitely agree with that. I think it's easier to deceive someone on social media than it is in person because you're right there in front of them. But at the same time, people deceive people in person. You know, there's people that'll brag about what they have or what, and like, oh no, this person's definitely bragging about this. And it's like there's catfishes on in the internet and in real life.
So, Kamiko, how does social media change your dating lifestyle?
Especially like with quarantine, just in general, it's just Zoom dating. This is a big thing. I think a lot of people are doing. I like Zoom dating because I don't have to deal with necessarily being across from a person. I get to, gauge their character from the video, like, us on Zoom and go from there. It's, if anything, it's, I think I would maybe adopt this dating practice even after quarantine because you get to screen the person before you actually go on the real date.
Yeah, I feel like online dating and Zoom dating and FaceTime is all like a non-invasive way to date. Like even like just because of quarantine, me and my boyfriend we watch movies on FaceTime, and that's always fun for us because like we're always like snapshotting our reactions and things like that. So I feel like this is definitely something if you're like far away from someone or having a long distance, it's changing the way people interact.
So, just curious, did you meet him online or in person?
Oh my God, that's well, a little bit of both for me because we initially started talking um, through a mutual friend, and but that was online again. So I didn't meet him in person until a week after meeting him. So a little bit of both.
So, it sounds like to me he slid in your DMs.
Something like that, I'd say. um, it's definitely different from now having met him in person because like when we were on the phone or like texting it was a lot easier and less awkward. I feel like when we first that first date was like totally awkward, didn't know what to say, kind of just looking at each other. So
I think that's like, for me, anyways, in my experience, I think that's just a part of dating, that awkward, first beginning situation. And then after a while, you feel comfortable with someone, you're able to open up more and relax.
yeah, and I think it's easier for someone to become more comfortable on the phone because you're not like a direct you're not in direct contact, so you're not sitting across from the person. So if you say anything stupid, you can't like take it back. You already got the reaction. Where on the phone, you can always kind of like now you can delete messages before they see it and kind of fix it when you say something dumb and you want to take it back.
Okay, Johnny, so you're an editor of the DMs.
I've said some things where I'm like, oh my God, I probably shouldn't have said that. I gotta take it back.
So you heard it, listeners. It definitely goes down in the DMs. Not only that, but the DMs sounds like it gives you a second chance to, check out that message before you send it or delete it.
Yeah, because once you say something, you can't take it back. It'll always be remembered.
That's for sure. Words are very powerful. Is there
As
some
the saying goes, you can't unring that bell.
is there something you would like to maybe share that you sent that you wish you wouldn't have?
I say a lot of goofy things. Um, I can't think of anything like specific, but like just that making a joke and then the being corny. I'm known for being super corny. So maybe that corny thing where I have to like, oh my god, that's super corny. I gotta take it back. Yeah. What about you?
Um, I try to really think about what I send before I send it, but some messages, like when you're just sitting on text messages, it's like, oh my gosh, sometimes like spell check comes in handy, but at other times I'm like, what the heck did that message just say? Like for me, I would like to take back those messages, but you know,
I definitely do that when I spell stuff wrong. I have to like fix it. It'll bug me, and then even like if I can't take it back, I'll do like star star and try to fix it.
oh my gosh. Well, sometimes I start, but for the most part, I'm like, it's already done. What can I do? It depends on the degree of it, though. If it's really bad, then yeah, star, star, star. So, can you talk about how you take pictures and maybe keep up with your social media?
I'm not really, since being in college and in quarantine, I feel like teachers forget you have a life outside of school. I feel like my school life takes over a majority of my life, and it's hard to sometimes maintain a balance. So as of right now, I haven't posted anything since like quarantine started. I've been so focused on school and other things that like social media kind of is in the background of my life. But definitely maybe after quarantine when I start doing more things and there's things worthy of posting about, because I'm not that type of person that posts every single day, every single thing I have to do, everything I'm doing, I have to report it to my social media. That's just not how I use my social media.
Jenny, you're gonna have to put some disclaimers on those photos and start taking some more.
Well, I think all my pictures actually have dates of when they were taken, so I'm kind of on the fit. I'm safe on that. So
That's good to know.
yeah, when there's something worth reporting, I'll let you know, Kamiko.
I would definitely be keeping an eye out for that, Jenny. So thank you for tuning in for Escape from Quarantine. My name is Kamiko Greenwood.
And I'm Janae. Thank you for listening to us.
See you next time.